Now let's go beyond somnambulism. Let's go beyond deep hypnosis. Here we have 3 more depths. Each one of these levels are very important. We have the Esdale state, we have the catatonic state, we have the Secourt state. To me, this is the deepest possible state of hypnosis. The only thing that is deeper than that is deep sleep. The Esdale state, what does that provide? First of all, general anesthesia without suggestion. It's just a gift of the state. The muscles will display a waxy pre-catatonic response. That simply means that no matter what position you put the limbs in, they remain there. They can remain there for lengthy periods of time without any muscle burn. The catatonic state, the muscular locking of the skeleton without verbal suggestion. Here, the skeletal muscles lock the limbs in place. Impossible to bend them because the skeletal muscles extremely many times stronger than the surface muscles are in play here. And finally, of course, the Secourt state. A state of extreme muscle flaccidity. This state is the one that was discovered and developed by Walter Secourt. And remember what I said, that the Secourt state, we renamed it it was once called ultra depth by Walter Secourt. It was my decision to rename it in his honor. But there was something very curious about it, because there was someone before him who reached that state. Of course, it wasn't really known, and that was Edgar Cayce. That's where all of his wonderful medical readings came from, that particular state. There was no name, no one knew how to reproduce it. Walter Secourt discovered the process. In the state, subconscious sensing of danger, not unconscious sensing of danger, not the brain, but subconscious sensing of danger, can alert the conscious mind before danger even occurs. Rapid healing, 6 to 10 times the individual's normal rate of healing. In most cases, it's 10 times. The Secourt state subject can also assist another individual in self-healing through Walter Secourt's mind-to-mind healing technique and much more. These depths are reproducible. We have found ways to do it and been able to teach many others to do the same thing. The catatonic state tells us that they are at the very bottom of Esdale. This is the doorway. This is what must be achieved before the person can reach the Secourt state. So it's workable, manageable. Each level, whether it's somnambulism, the Esdale state, catatonic, or Secourt, each one of them is remarkable upon its own. Now we're going to be talking about key words eventually and showing you how this is done. What's remarkable is you can anchor in somnambulism with what we call a key word, a single word, a person can return to it. You can do it with the Esdale state, but with the catatonic state, you can't. Everything is done non-verbally. And then, of course, with the secured state, that can also be anchored in with a single word. Just as exiting a person from the hypnotic state, a single word can mean the same thing as you counting them out of state. Once you go through the process of staging an individual, and yes, that may take some time, but then once all the keys are set in state, everything is locked in. No more inductions are needed. No more lengthy period of exiting. And something else that's very important. The deeper a person goes into a hypnotic state, the longer the count should be, so that they will come out feeling calm, peaceful, clear-minded, rested. If you exit the person too abruptly, you could create what is called or known as a hypnotic hangover. It's not a good thing to do. There is ways to set the person so that they will exit out at their own pace, and you can teach them in the process of staging. We're going to be demonstrating this so you can see how all this is done, how all this is put together.
I'd like to share with you a very profound story that happened to me when I first started working with the progressive relaxation before I had taken any training, and this was the convincer for me. I was upstairs using the progressive relaxation, and my two toddlers were downstairs on the porch, on a cement porch with my mother's helper. And I'd set up finger painting for them to do. And I went up and I was using the progressive relaxation, and all of a sudden I started to lose Jim's voice, and not have any awareness. Let's say that was my perception. All of a sudden, I realized that I was running down my staircase, heading to the outside to the porch. Okay, and I'm thinking, what am I doing? What's going on here? And then instantaneously, a scene flashed through my head of my youngest, of my 18-month-old, having crawled over to an iron chair that I had there. I had some table and chairs, and pulling herself up on it, and then climbing up on that, and then getting up on this cast iron table, and the table falling over and her smashing her head on the concrete surface, and the table landing on top of her. Well, this went through my head like a flash, a split second, and I screamed, no. And I don't even remember going through the house and out to the porch, and I looked and I saw my mother's helper and my older daughter finger painting happily, and I saw my youngest daughter getting up on the table and holding the table, and it was as if it was slow motion. The table started to fall over, and I leapt from those stairs and grabbed my daughter, and the cast iron table clambered on the cement and split it in half. And I just stood there shaking and crying and saying, oh my God, thank God. And then I stopped and I said, thank you, subconscious. Because that was the convincer for me, how profound and how much our subconscious cares and not only loves us, but loves who we love and our loved ones. And to me, that made put ultra depth in a whole new light. And I was willing then to explore it and do what I needed to do to incorporate it in my daily life, and also to learn it to be able to help others.
All right, now, once we have somnambulism established, there's other levels we have to work for. So we know that we have a key word for her for somnambulism, fawn. Like I said, this is where we get mental relaxation, but we have to go further, much further. Now, there's a much deeper state of relaxation for you to enjoy than what you're experiencing right now. Now, to reach this deeper state of relaxation, you must go down 3 more floors of relaxation. We will call them floor A, floor B, and floor C. Now, to reach floor A, you must double your present state of relaxation. Double it completely. Once you have doubled it, and you are sure it is doubled, I want you to say the letter A out loud very plainly. Now, this should only take a few moments.
A.
Very good. Now, you're to go down to floor B. To reach floor B, again, you must double your present state of relaxation, going twice as deep for B as you did for A. So double your relaxation yet another time. Once it is doubled and you are sure it is doubled, then try to say the letter B. This will only take a few moments.
B.
Very good. Now, you've got to really give into relaxation, letting go completely. Going down now to floor C. Now, to reach floor C, you must double your present state of relaxation one more time. Double it completely, going twice as deep for C as you did for B. So double that relaxation one more time. And once you have doubled it, and you are sure it is doubled, I want you to try to say the letter C out loud. Try your utmost. And if you have truly doubled your relaxation, you will find that you just won't be able to move the lips in order to say C, because you will be too relaxed. Now, this will only take a few moments. Very good. Try to lift your right leg. Try to open your eyes. Dr. Carrasco, would you come over here for a moment? Would you check and see what you find?
Well, I'm finding complete limb rigidity. However, the skeletal muscles that I could feel are very soft. They're not supporting it. So it must be a deep skeletal muscle lock. Also, I can feel a temperature change. It's much cooler.
What do you see?
See, the pupils are dilated and fixed.
In your understanding, what would that denote?
This would denote that both mentally and physically she's totally relaxed. And in this state, which is the Esdale state, the body already has anesthesia. So this is anesthesia without suggestion.
Without suggestion. Please. What do you see here?
See the indentation in the skin from the clamps, and it's deep, and it would significantly have hurt me if it was placed on me at this present time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, whenever again I say the word feather to you, this is the level of relaxation you will return to instantly, spontaneously, automatically. So whenever again I say feather to you, just close those eyes and immediately allow the mind and body to return right back to this same wonderful, comfortable state of relaxation. Whenever again I say, feather to you, close those eyes and instantly, spontaneously, without any hesitation, allow the mind and body to return right back to this same wonderful state of relaxation. Each and every time going deeper, each and every time enjoying it more and more. And this will happen today, every day, for the rest of your life, as long as you choose, as long as you desire. Feather, feather, feather. Now come up to fawn and hold in fawn. Until again I touch you here on the shoulder, you will only continue to relax deeper and pay no further attention to my voice. We have now somnambulism, a key word for that, an exit word, and we have a key word for the Esdale state. And yes, in the Esdale state, anesthesia without suggestion. It's a gift of the state. It just occurs. But you must take the person first down to the catatonic state. And just by gently tapping under each limb, once you have limb rigidity, guide the limbs back in place. And when you have the person relaxed, where all the limbs have been relaxed back in place, then you can set in your keyword. But remember these words. It's very important. Today, every day, for the rest of your life, as long as you choose, as long as you desire, it's them. You're giving them who they are. You are giving them their own empowerment because you, the operator, have no power. They're doing it. Make sure they're aware of it. We have one more place to go. Now we're going to work for the support state. But first, we have to complete the staging process. We're teaching this person how to go down, how to come up, one level at a time. When it's all complete, they will be able to do it all by themselves for the rest of their lives, whenever they want it, whenever they need it, for whatever is needed. Now just keep right on relaxing. Sunshine. Feather. Now there's a much deeper state of relaxation for you to enjoy. Now in this deeper state of relaxation, you've been going there ever since you've been born. Every night that you go to sleep. It's a state that you enter many times before you dream and sometimes after you dream. So it is nothing new to you, even though you may not be aware of it. Now in this state, you're very safe because your subconscious is fully aware of your surroundings, will protect you, will take care of you. But to reach this next state of relaxation, the state that we call the relaxation of infancy, we need the help and assistance of your subconscious. So with your permission, I will now ask your subconscious to assist you in reaching this very profound state of relaxation, the relaxation of infancy. Now, Kimberly's subconscious. In a moment, I'm going to begin to count from 1 down to 10. And with each and every number I say, will you please guide Kimberly down to the relaxation of infancy with each and every number I say. So by the time I say the number 10, she will be in the relaxation of infancy for her highest good, to benefit her. 1, going all the way down to the relaxation of infancy. 2, going deeper than you ever have before. 3, all the way down into the relaxation of infancy. 4, deeper than you ever have before. 5, all the way down into the relaxation of infancy. 6, going deeper than ever before. 7, all the way into the relaxation of infancy. 8, going deeper than ever before. 9, all the way into the relaxation of infancy. 10, deeper than you ever have been before. Dr. Kraska, would you come over here, please? Would you check the body, please, and tell me what you find?
Well, she's totally loose and limp throughout her musculoskeletal system. All her muscles are very lax.
Would you do me a favor? Would you check the abdominal area? You can
Very soft.
press harder.
Extremely soft.
If abdominal surgery was indicative in this situation, do you find anything here that would be contraindicative to that?
No. I think you're both states, both the Esdale and the Secord state. You can perform surgery. Thank you.
Do you notice the shallow breathing?
Very shallow, and it's almost sonorous sound. And I see some REM eye movement.
What was that?
Some REM eye movement, rapid eye movement.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kimberly Subconscious.
Now, whenever again I say the word dolphin to you, this is the level of relaxation you will return to instantly, spontaneously, automatically. So whenever again I say the word dolphin, just close your eyes and immediately allow your mind and body to relax right back into this wonderful, comfortable, relaxed state. So whenever again I say dolphin, just close those eyes and return right back into this beautiful state you're enjoying right now. Each and every time going deeper, each and every time enjoying it more and more. And this will happen today, every day, for the rest of your life, as long as you choose, as long as you desire. Dolphin, dolphin, dolphin. Now, come up to feather, hold and feather. Come up to fawn, hold and fawn. Until again I touch you here on the shoulder, you will only continue to relax and pay no further attention to my voice. If you noticed, as she changed levels, there was an accentuated inhale and exhale. This is how you know the person is changing state. Be aware of this. Look for this. This is important. This helps time you. You have to work at their pace, not expect them to work at your pace. You are in service to them. This is very important. Be as courteous as you can possibly be. Aren't you courteous to children? Who is subconscious? Maybe subconscious has gained much more vast knowledge, but it still expects courtesy. Sunshine. Dolphin. Sunshine.
Oh, excuse me.
Dolphin. Something that's quite remarkable about the state. Something that you never, ever have to program in. It's just there. Emergency. Dolphin. Come up to feather, hold and feather. Come up to fawn, hold and fawn. When you're ready, on your own time, sunshine. Would you come here and verify something, please, Dr. Carrasco? Now you remember how deep they were before?
Right. It's just very minimal at the present time.
Do you see any trauma?
I see no bruising, and if at all, very minimal edema. And it seems like it's just going right back to natural state.
Thank you. I thank you. Now, understand, the hypnotist, the operator, has no power. It's the client. It's your subject. They have the power within themselves. You have the power within yourself to work with yourself. I myself had to have some surgery. A couple times. The thing that was so profound on me, I had surgery on my eyes. I elected to have local anesthesia, the chemical anesthesia, with this eye. I was told it was just pressure that I would feel. Well, it was as if someone was standing on my eyeball. It was quite a bit of pressure. When I chose to do this eye just a few days later, what surprised the doctors was with this eye, under local anesthesia, it would move. They kept asking me to stop moving. I couldn't do that. It was just moving. I said, I'm doing the best I can, but it's moving. This eye, they never asked me to not move. As a matter of fact, I only recall about 15 minutes of the entire surgery. It was much longer than that. This eye here healed faster, much faster than this eye. My understanding is because of what was behind it. This eye, I had chemical anesthesia and it suppressed the immune system. This eye, I did not. Not only was the immune system enhanced, but the healing process was already working. That evening after surgery, I removed the bandage and I could see perfect. It was so clear. I was so pleased to have perfect vision. This eye, I still had a halo around it. Bandages were already off and had been off for days. This eye, perfectly I could see. It took days before this eye caught up to this eye. I've had the opportunity to work with other parts, other important things. I had the opportunity to experience mind-to-mind healing, which was developed by Walter Secourt and Sarah Zane. In a few moments, we're going to show you how to set that up. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, let's talk about what just occurred as the person goes through levels. The first, normal awareness. Conscious mind in the physical plane. Brain at the top of the head. Unconscious. Subconscious above the physical plane. Normal awareness. Mature person. As we induce the hypnotic state, we work down to somnambulism. Here we have the subconscious and the conscious on level playing grounds. In other words, they're both there, equally the same. Subconscious can create effects that conscious is not aware of. Information being passed back and forth through the brain can accept very easily. This is why therapeutic intervention in somnambulism is so much more effective. There's no real working at it. As the person goes deeper into the hypnotic state, what then occurs is yet a further change. And this further change, we get the Esdale state. Things begin to change. The subconscious is closer to the physical plane. Conscious mind begins to rise up out of the physical plane. This is why in the Esdale state you have general anesthesia. This is why in the Esdale state it seems that the person no longer can accept suggestion. This is not correct. What is correct is the person can accept suggestion if it is positive and beneficial for them. Because subconscious now can make that determination and make sure the brain either gets it or doesn't get it. But no, the conscious is no longer tied to the physical plane. Cannot operate the body, cannot speak. But it doesn't mean that they do not hear, because they still hear. They are just unable to physically respond. It does not mean that it is not a beneficial state or that you cannot do any kind of therapeutic intervention here. They just cannot interact with you. Many times when they interact, it can diffuse some of the therapy that's being done. Catatonic state. The conscious is even further away from the physical plane. Subconscious is closer yet. Definitely here, the only one who can work the body is subconscious. This is why we can get the limb lock without the use of the muscles. What's happening is the underlying skeletal muscles, which are worked by subconscious. This is what locks the limbs. And finally, the Secourt state, which is in total reverse of the normal waking state. We have the conscious mind sitting, in a sense, in the seat of subconscious. Not a normal place for it. Subconscious mind is there on the physical plane. As we take and guide the person through these depths, this kind of exchange takes place. This is why healing is between 6 to 10 times faster than its normal rate, because this is being actually controlled by subconscious. Conscious, with its fears, its false beliefs, cannot affect the brain. Doesn't have the capacity to make changes or affect it. Subconscious can do this without the interference of the conscious. This is why the support state is so important. Power napping. I'm sure you've heard of that. If you spend 5 minutes, I've done this myself, 5 minutes in the support state is like many hours of very deep sleep. But it does not replace sleep. Sarah Zane, who was kept in that state for 13 hours, still went home that evening and had a normal 8 hours of sleep. Walter was trying to determine how long a person could be kept in that state and what kind of effects would take place. When she came out, well, she was fully rested, but she still went home and had a good night's sleep. It doesn't replace sleep, but it can add to the quality of rest the body and mind needs. Not only does the conscious mind need rest, but so does subconscious. Subconscious doesn't sleep, but it still needs rest. Without rest, we will discontinue. We will shut down. We can create havoc within the brain and throughout the whole system of the body. So it's important. This experiencing time here only adds to what we normally have. A person spending 5 minutes in the support state once or twice a day will add to the quality of their life, will add to the quality of their health. This is the exchange. This is the change in states that takes place. It's very important to understand what's happening with the individual as you're guiding them into the different states. Somnambulism, the Esdale state, the catatonic state, and the support state. What's taking place? What is available? Understand, when you are deepening a person, you must give them a designation by saying things such as deeper, deeper, deeper. What kind of designation is that? Or by saying things like way down. Way down to what? Relationship to what? You must give them a designation. This makes it easier for them to go deeper. Remember this. In the Esdale state, the conscious mind cannot move the body. In the catatonic state, the conscious mind cannot move the body. And how do you know when you have catatonic? Because you're looking for that limb lock. Some people, you may have to raise their limbs higher than others. Each person has a different place they'll lock at. Each person is different. No two people are alike. And the way people respond to hypnosis, no people will respond the same. But we have these general areas that are very similar from one person to the next. We have to find where the details lie. So pay attention. Let that client lead you. Let their subconscious lead and guide you.
The Esdale state, when I first experienced the Esdale state, it was euphoric. It was absolutely euphoric. I could hear a pin drop in the next room if I needed to. It was, everything around me was very soft and kind of fuzzy and gentle. And if there was noise in the room or people talking, I could choose to listen to the conversations or just kind of, not pay attention to to what was being said, but I had the awareness of what was going on around me. And just the sense of peace, I've never experienced anything like that before. It was so amazing.
Well, I think that's also important is to experience it yourself. In the experience of the process, the letting go, you begin to realize what's also required of your patient and are able then, as a guide, you're not really a hypnotist, you're actually a guide towards relaxation, both of the body and the mind. And I think that's an important key point that should be made.
I've used Ultra Depth personally for major and minor surgeries, and I'll tell you, it works. What I have learned in dental work and the major and minor surgeries I've been through, essentially it's the chemical anesthesia that when you're said and done of the operation, that creates the problems. What I found working with Ultra Depth, so my body in the Esdale state could create the anesthesia, when I would come up and the procedure would be done, I would not have a lack of energy, I would not have pain, and I would not be all groggy. I would feel great. And that was a real gift. In one of my surgeries, we had a very profound experience. My physician was working on the procedure, and he thought in his mind, gee, you know, I really need, these tissues are getting very dried out. I need to moisten these tissues. I wish some blood would come up and moisten these tissues. And no more had he thought that specific thought when suddenly drops of blood formed at that site and moistened the tissues so he could continue with the surgical procedure. That changed my doctor's whole perception of medicine and of life as we know it. We have tremendous power inside of ourselves, which to me really equals freedom. And once we're willing to let go and relax, deeply relax, then the magic of life can happen.
I'm managing my stress so much better. My level of being out of control, losing my temper, having my blood pressure go skyrocketing, I say my words, and I really relax. It's amazing. I don't believe it. One of the things that I found interesting is that if you really want to make a big life change, if you really are tired of all the garbage that's followed you around, I really recommend this UD. It's amazing work.
I wanted to be able to replicate the benefits and the depth, and now I'm able to do that.
In conclusion, I would like you to understand that what the Secord state provides for Ultra Depth is that a person's gifts and talents many times are enhanced, many times fold. Not only that, what we call our intuition can be clearer and enhanced as well. We also call it our gut instinct. We can connect with it. We can understand it better. Things become clearer. The healing that takes place, the way it was calculated with Dr. Dolman and Marco in Philadelphia, somehow they were able to track enzyme counts. They knew what the normal rate was for an individual. They were able to track this through enzyme counts and found that they were multiplied 6 to 10 times more. That's why it's important. So understand the tool, understand why this state is so important, and you will be able to benefit many. Now, the mind-to-mind healing technique that was developed by Walter Secourt and Sarah Zane is when you have a person, for example, say she is able to reach the Secourt state, and say that he is the client who is in need of some healing. We do not need to know specifics. All we need to know is that this person is desiring some healing. In my case, I have found that as long as one person, this is what Walter said, one person must be able to reach this very profound depth. What transpires, we really don't know. But what we want them to do, bring your hands up please, is interlock fingers. Because if this person is going to go into the Secourt state, the hands, if they were just this way, could slide out. But with fingers interlocked the way they are, interwoven, they'll stay. Okay, hand down. Now, if you, the operator, cannot reach the Secourt state, you want someone who can. So then you would say, Snowball. You would say their keyword to enter the Secourt state. You can say things like, Brenda's subconscious, when you're in communication with Dr. Carrasco's subconscious, please indicate that by raising a finger on the left hand to let me know. At that point, that's telling you that the process is beginning. What I normally say then, when the process is complete, please bring Brenda conscious back up. Different things can take place. I've experienced this myself. Different people have different experiences, but it's when the hands separate is where most of them have all said the same thing. It's like the stretching of Turkish taffy. If you ever had the experience of playing with Turkish taffy as a child, there's this feeling that seems to come when the hands separate. Now, some of these have only taken a few minutes. Sometimes it's taken a couple hours. There's nothing more that needs to be said. I myself have done this with clients. I have no awareness of time. But what I do have, when it's all over with, is that same feeling of this, like Turkish taffy being stretched as we separate our hands. So what actually takes place here, we have this person going into the Secourt state. This person doesn't really need to do anything, but sometimes they themselves are dragged down through the depths all the way down into the Secourt state. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. It is, to my experience, a better effect for the client to be able to reach a light or medium state. That's all really is needed, because now they have some personal effect. But the effect is greatest during the separation once they both come up. Starlight, sunlight. Now, when they get ready to separate hands, what I tell them to do is put your hands like this first. Rest them back. Gradually lift your hands apart. Pull them apart slowly. What has been experienced by some afterwards is like it's like an achy sensation as the hands have been separated. Once they're fully separated, sensations are normal. Usually this person has no clue of how long it has been. Sometimes one session is all that it's needed. Sometimes several sessions are needed. Every situation is different. Even if multiple sessions are needed, sometimes some of them are longer than others. Like I said, nothing is etched in stone. What takes place, like I said, we don't know. But remarkable things have happened. Sometimes instantly, and sometimes it's over a long period of time. Thank you. Thank you.
The Secourt state is pure magic. I can't even begin to tell you enough about what the Secourt state is like. When I go into the Secourt state, sometimes I'm given recall, sometimes I'm not. And it's a state of tremendous love, I would say, and deep positive emotion and calming. And when I go to the Secourt state, I see pink clouds and kind of just a pink light that's very soft and diffused. And then sometimes when I'm in the Secourt state, I'll have dreams. And usually they're very profound dreams, or they're almost therapeutic dreams. And I just find being able to obtain the Secourt state, whether through a keyword or through using the progressive relaxation, all I can tell you is my gifts and talents have amplified 1,000-fold. I'm much more at peace. I have a center when things get crazy around me. I'm very grounded and I just know what to do, and not much of anything bothers me anymore. The states are profound, and anytime I choose to come out, I can. That's not an issue. People worry, oh, you're in these states, you'll never be able to come out. Not true, just doesn't happen. You have free choice and free will.
We have the responsibility with free will to take control of our emotions, use discipline, and ask, and that birthright will be ours, but not until we control our minds can we avail of ourselves of that information. So first, it rests with us. How do we do that? We're all trying to find love, we're trying to make money, we're trying to handle the difficulties of this life. So where do you find the peace to do this? You know, you want to meditate for 30 years in a cave? You know, most of us don't have that time. So we've defined that it is our right as humans with free will. At least this is a definition that I subscribe to. And that there are certain ways in which we can access our inheritance, which is knowledge, peace, and love, and not be subject to the pains of life, death, time, illness, complexity, and so there's ways of doing this. And I think that Jim has a unique knowledge. You know, Jim's very, very good at this, and he's got a lot of sincerity. He's a very giving human being, and he's very unpretentious in his abilities, and he has a very excellent way of sharing and teaching this material. I'm not exactly sure. Well, I guess he gets the material from the very place that we want to go.
Now, another one of the therapies that can be used, and it's a good technique, is the computer console technique. This is the way it works. First of all, you have to be able to have the person to be able to achieve at least somnambulism. Now, I have found that what does occur when the person can go all the way down into somnambulism, down into the Esdale state, and then all the way into the Secourt state, and then you bring them back up at 30-second to 1-minute intervals back to somnambulism. It seems that things are much clearer, more detailed, more information. But somnambulism, it still works very well. Snowball. Maintaining perfect balance, bringing the head erect and being just as relaxed as you are right now. Now, Brenda, I want you to imagine yourself sitting at a computer, looking at the monitor with the keyboard directly in front of you and the mouse. When you have that, let me know. What does it look like? Describe it to me.
It's a white keyboard and a white mouse.
How about your monitor? What does that look like?
Nice monitor, flat.
Ah, okay. Well, in a moment, when I tell you, I want you to look over to your right. And on your right, you'll find another keyboard. The only thing is this keyboard is a little different. It has all kinds of buttons, lights, dials, switches, and gauges on it. Probably too many for you to really focus in on any. Now look to your right and see that keyboard. Do you see that? Probably too many to focus in on, huh? Mm-hmm. All right, well, on the main keyboard, I want you to type the word my body. And then press enter and tell me what appears on the screen.
Picture of the body.
All right. Now, we're going to do a scan of the body, starting from the head all the way down to the tip of the toes. So I want you to type the word scan, and don't do this yet, but when I tell you, I want you to press the enter key 3 times, and then it will begin to scan down the body. Tell me if at any time, any area of the body draws your attention to it in any way, any fashion, and tell me why it's drawing your attention to that. Do you understand? Now, press enter 3 times.
Stomach.
Stomach. Why do you say stomach? What's happening there?
It's a different color.
Well, what color is it?
More green.
Do you like that color?
Mm-hmm.
Is there some reason that it's drawing you there, your attention there?
There's like bubbles.
Well, what would you do to change that? Look at the keyboard on the right and tell me what controls you need to do to change that so it becomes more harmonious. Do you find something there that says stomach?
Mm-hmm. I'm going to turn it.
Oh, is it like a knob? Mm-hmm. Well, where was it set before?
It was kind of over here on the left.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to turn it more in the middle.
Okay. You have it where you like it now?
Mm.
Well, I want you to look around and find something that says lock L-O-C-K.
Okay.
What is that?
It's just a key.
All right, push that. All right, now press the enter key, and it will remain so all through your waking and sleeping hours. And as soon as that has been set in place, press enter again, and the scan will continue.
Clear reading.
Very good. All right, now, what I would like you to do now is type on that main keyboard the words "thank you" and then press enter and tell me what you see on the monitor.
Smiley face.
Okay. Now, listen to me very carefully. You can monitor your body systems anytime you choose, simply by bringing up the computer using the same process that you did just now. Typing the word "my body." When that comes up, press the enter key 3 times and you'll be able to scan all the way down to your body. If at any time you wish to check any particular system, type in the system, whether it be circulatory, your endocrine system, muscular system, the skeletal system, nervous system. You can check all the way down to the very cellular level of the processes in your body. You can make the changes necessary. But remember, you must press for lock and then enter so that it will continue during your waking and sleeping hours. When you are done, you must always type the words "thank you." Do you understand? Now, we're not going to turn this computer off because it never goes off. Just let it fade, and when it has faded completely from your sight, allow your body to relax and just go deeper. Very good. Now, when you're ready, on your own time, sunlight. Like that technique?
I do like that technique. I think that's very beneficial for healing your own self or checking your own body out.
Was it very clear for you? Or?
Very clear. Very clear. I mean, I could see the screen and the body and the scanning, yellow light going down it. It was great.
Well, good,
Yeah.
good. Now that you got yourself another gift.
Exactly.
Use the tools.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
In your manual, we've included some extra therapies for you that we've been able to develop working with ultra depth. Now, you've saw the way the computer console technique works. We've gave you a mock-up run of the mind-to-mind healing, but there are others included in the manual with instructions on how to use them and what you can use them for. So read your manual carefully. Look for this information and utilize it where it is applicable.
I've used it variously. So if I want to take an examination and I'm in the world, and I need to sharpen my faculties so that I can remember a body of knowledge, and I can use this process to take myself to that level that allows my mind to be effective in terms of learning a body of knowledge in order to, for whatever reason, to be tested on it or to learn it or to know it. And so that's valuable.
Pushing 60, I've walked around with a lot of different habits. Nail biting since I was 3. And if I let my nails grow, then I'm ripping and tearing at my skin. So I said to her, it was really important to me to please help me to understand, not just to stop it, but to understand what could be motivating it. I felt like her explanation of UD was going to be instrumental in helping me make this breakthrough rather than just breaking a bad habit and picking up a new one. And we did it.
Trina was having great difficulty. She was living with her mom in Kansas City, which is about a 2-day drive from here. And it was a fine situation between her mom and I, and my daughter was doing okay, but she was getting very poor grades for the kind of intelligence that she had. And she was running into some social difficulties as well. Her boyfriend was running into some legal problems, and it looked like she was getting dragged in along with it. She met with Jim, I believe it was on Father's Day of last year, which would have been 2004. And she was still pretty much in a problem state as a junior in high school. And they met together. I thought it was just going to be for a brief interview, but it turned out that they really gelled with each other. And the interview lasted about 2.5 hours, 3 hours, at the end of which my daughter privately told me that she felt that she had become enlightened. She went home and everything simply shifted in her whole life. Within the next 4 months, her grades began to improve, and she began looking into coming to move back here to Sedona to finish up her high school, which is exactly what she wound up doing. I think maybe 5 months after this time with Jim. And she spent the last part of her junior year and then the full senior year back here living in Sedona, and went from a low C student to a straight A student. And her social issues completely dissolved. She became a dream roommate and daughter. And right now she's off in Hollywood pursuing her dream. Again, very difficult to figure out how, on a linear basis, how this could have happened. Like, if from point A to point Z that she's at right now, there were a bunch of miracles that just leaped over a number of steps that probably most people would have to go through, a lot of hand-wringing and difficulties. And this whole transition that she had from being a problem youth into a model child happened effortlessly, with no trauma either on her mother's side or on my side or her side. And again, I really just have to thank Jim for his great work.
Oh, I think the application of ultra depth in the medical practice is wherever you can benefit that patient. For instance, they say that 80% of people coming into a physician's office have anxiety, physician office anxiety. And it's a very simple way to relieve that by saying, wouldn't you rather relax, relieve that anxiety, and then you just could go right into the whole process. And a lot of the people who experience it, the feedback is just tremendous.
The use of ultra-depth hypnosis has unalterably changed my own life and my daughter's life to a way that I can only be eternally thankful for.
I heard the sound of a baby's cry. Then I found it was my own, and I asked the winds why. They said, you're born to love, you're born to grieve. But in this life, my child, you must trust, you must believe. That it's on the hill and the ground below, the warmth of the sun, the chill of the cold, the taste of honey, the smell of the rain, the voices of wind are calling your name. I saw a woman smiling on the street. The blood from her toil gateway to her peace. And as I looked, her eyes were mine, and she said, "Take a walk in my shoes, child, and this is what you'll find. It's on the hill in the ground below, the warmth of the sun, the chill of the cold, the taste of honey, the smell of the rain, the voices of wind are calling your name." A child came up and asked of me, "Where am I going, and what will be my destiny?" He said, "Will I be poor? Will I have gold?" And I said, "You'll be rich, my child, as long as truth is what you hold. 'Cause I'm the hill in the ground below, the warmth of the sun, the chill of the cold, the taste of honey, the smell of the rain, the voices of wind are calling your name. It's on the hill in the ground below, the warmth of the sun, the chill of the cold, the taste of honey, the smell of the rain, the voices of wind are calling your name. It's on the hill in the ground below, the warmth of the sun, the chill of the cold, the taste of honey, the smell of the rain, the voices of wind are calling my name." It's on the hill in the ground below, the warmth of the sun, the chill of the cold, the taste of honey, the smell of the rain, the voices of wind are calling